There was a body under my bed, and no one believed me. I was 12 when it happened. While taking inventory of my marble collection, my tiger's eye rolled beneath my bed. Without thinking, I reached under to grab it. That's when my hand touched hers. At 12, the only hands I had ever held were my parents' when I was little. Instantly, I recoiled and backed into the corner of my room. My heart raced as I gathered my courage, lowering myself to the floor. The last thing I remembered was her eyes, intense blue, unlike any I had ever seen. The next moment, I awoke to my parents' concerned faces hovering above me. My sister, Jill, relayed that I had screamed so loudly I passed out. When the memory of what triggered my episode flooded back, I proclaimed that there was a body under my bed. Of course, like most would, my parents thought I was imagining things. "It was just a bad dream. Your imagination is running wild," they said. But I was adamant, and they had no choice but to investigate. I waited on the couch, covering my ears and closing my eyes, bracing myself for the scream I knew would come from my mother. When it didn't, I held my breath and cracked my eyelids open just enough to see my parents standing before me. Their expressions shifted from concern to annoyance. "This is just a silly prank," they scolded, dismissing my fears. That evening, I avoided my room. When bedtime arrived, I wanted to protest, but the look my father gave me spoke volumes. With shaky legs and shallow breaths, I entered my room. Everything looked normal, felt normal, even smelled normal. Relief washed over me, combined with a heavy dose of exhaustion. I hurriedly changed into my pajamas and snuggled into bed. Sleep came faster than I expected, but it was restless. Nightmares plagued me, with those damn blue eyes appearing in the faces of everyone I saw. I jolted awake, unsure of the time. The sun hadn't risen yet, so it was still early. Unease filled the air, and I knew I had to look again. Better sooner than later, I thought. I opened the drawer of my bedside table, my fingers brushing over the familiar shape of my flashlight. After giving it a firm smack, I turned it on. With a mental pep talk, reminding myself that none of this was real, I crawled off my bed and onto the floor. I didn't scream this time, or pass out. I just stared in shock and disbelief. There she was, the same blue-eyed woman who had haunted my sleepless nights. Her body lay bloodied and contorted in a gruesome manner, but it was the look of fear and helplessness on her face that anchored me in place. Part of me expected her to lunge at me like something from a horror movie, but she remained motionless, her eyes wide open. To be continued.